Welcome back to another episode of History in Your Own Backyard. I'm your host, Susie Selleck. Here today in Beverly, Ohio, we're getting ready to explore some of the top historic sites. Stay tuned. I'll show you, I'll tell you all about it.
Welcome to Beverly. My name is Jim Ullman, and I am the mayor of Beverly. And my family has been involved with the village of Beverly for 3 generations now. And I am currently now a member of the Beverly Volunteer Fire Department, who one of the very first fire departments in the Northwest Territory, if not the first fire department in the Northwest Territory. And we are also blessed to have a museum here, and Sharon Farnsworth is the president of that, and I'll turn it over to her.
Thanks, Jim. As he said, I'm really proud of our museum here. We have the Oliver Tucker Museum mostly has local things. We're not a part of a bigger museum because we like to keep things here. We have some very unusual things in the museum, and we'd like for you to visit and see some of those things at some point in time, along with all the other things that we have in Beverly. We have a log house here too. And speaking of houses, I live in one of the oldest houses in Beverly. It was built in 1889. And it was part of a family, a Mitchell family, who had a farm, and the parents built one house for the son and one for the daughter. And the one for the son is the one I live in, and the one for the daughter was turned into a church building. So it'd be fun for you to come and see us.
The town of Beverly was established in 1789 and named Plainfield. The town of Plainfield became known as Beverly in 1845 through the efforts of John Dodge, who renamed the village in honor of his native village in Massachusetts. The home remains today as a private residence in full view of the village park named after Mr. Dodge, who donated much time, property, expertise, and labor benefiting this community. He built the house on Main Street for his daughter, Colena, that now houses the Lower Muskingum Historical Society and the Oliver Tucker Museum. Beverly's sister village on the other side of the Muskingum River, Waterford, well, that was established about the same time and was originally named Millburg. The Beverly Fire Department is one of the first, if not the first, volunteer fire department in the Northwest Territory. Although retired from service, the fire company still has its original fire pumper built in 1853 in Seneca Falls, New York, and the original fire bell purchased in June of 1885. The bell was last used for a fire call in 1930 and last used for a life-saving squad call in 1941. The first bridge in Beverly was built in 1881. It was a covered bridge with a steel drawbridge turntable at one end to allow tall boats to pass down the river. The bridge was washed away in the 1913 flood and replaced with a 3-span steel through-truss bridge. The Muskingum River lock and dam system was built around 1840 and provided a series of locks and dams from Dresden, Ohio to Marietta, Ohio. Total length was about 93 miles. Lock number 4 is located here in Beverly. The system is still in operation, and recent renovation of the Beverly lock has improved its usage. This is the only complete working system of hand-operated river locks in the nation. The historic locks are operated manually by lock tenders, similar to when they were first used in 1841. Speaking of locks and dams, on November 12, 1852, the boilers on the steamboat Buckeye Bell exploded while the boat was at lock number 4 in Beverly, Ohio. This huge explosion sent boat fragments a half a mile from the lock and dam and killed 24 people. The 1913 flood not only took out the only bridge in town, but also destroyed 15 to 20 homes in Beverly. The river crested on March 28th at 46.5 feet, 21 feet above flood stage, and 15.5 feet higher than the previous record. River traffic gave way to other modes of transportation as progress continued and the population expanded. A railroad was built to connect Zanesville and Marietta on the Waterford side of the river. A freight train and passenger train called the Doodlebug connected the villages and cities along the Muskingum. There was also the Parkersburg-Marietta interurban line that was extended to Beverly in 1909. This trolley gave residents a new system of travel, and the car barn, as it was called, is still in existence today, housing 2 businesses. An island was created by the construction of the canal for the lock and dam number 4. This island once included a restaurant and cabins called Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, reachable by a drawbridge of sorts. In 1966, the establishment burned to the ground, and now the island is being reclaimed by nature. Oliver Tucker, through his efforts and that of his descendants, provided much of the historical preservation for the village. He was a businessman who purchased the house built by John Dodge, and the house remained with his descendants until they donated it to the Lower Muskingum Historical Society for a museum in 1972. The Oliver Tucker Museum features a 9-room house, a restored log house, and a red barn filled with local items of interest. The Round Bottom School was built in the fall of 1795 by pioneers Allen Duvall, David Wilson, Nathaniel Cushing, Peter Shaw, and Andrew Story. The bricks were fired in the nearby field. The name Round Bottom is derived from the wide circle the Muskingum River makes around these bottom lands. Muir House is built in 1889 by William Tell Mitchell, the great-nephew of Johnny Appleseed. The houses were the same design but reversed so that the porches faced each other and they shared a driveway. The house on the left has been added to the existing Baptist church structure. The house on the right is a private home. The all-steel Lestern homes were produced in a former aircraft factory in Columbus, Ohio, from 1947 to 1949 to help alleviate a housing shortage after World War II. About 2,500 homes were manufactured featuring 4 similar home designs. The homes were steel inside, outside, and even the roof was steel. They were advertised as being rust-proof, fireproof, and termite-proof. watching another episode of History in Your Own Backyard. I'm your host, Susie Selleck, here today in Beverly, Ohio. Hope you enjoyed your time with us and learned a little something. Remember, travel slowly and stop often. Bye for now.